Good morning. We'll now start the morning bell chant. If you'd like to turn to page 26 in your chant books, you can read along, chant along, follow along. And we'll begin after 3 strikes of the gong. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a parent protects with their life their child, their only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downward to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection.
Good morning, Sangha. My name is Upaya, and I'm a Dharma teacher intern here at the temple. And this is my first day leading Sunday service, so thank you for your patience. This time I'd like to invite up the incense lighters to light our incense at the altar. And let's follow along and recite the incense lighting gatha on page 2. In gratitude, we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. And we bow. Morning, Sangha. So before we start today, some courtesy announcements. We have a community room downstairs. So family with small children, feel free to take the kids downstairs. There's lots of toys for them to play with and, well, lots of Legos for you to step on too. If you find the need to move around, feel free to move around. We do ask that you don't walk directly in front unless you want to be recorded for posterity on the for YouTube and Zoom. And there are 2 bathrooms upstairs and 1 bathroom downstairs. And we always have tea. We invite everybody to come down for tea afterwards for social hour at 11 o'clock. So with that, we can greet everybody. So let's go stand up. The Buddha taught that Sangha and spiritual friends are the heart of spiritual practice. So let's greet everyone. We'll start by reciting the 3 refuges, which is at page 3. Buddha also taught that joy was one of the factors of awakening. So let's see how much joy we can put into our chants today. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I'm aware that the 3 jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to practice mindful breathing and smiling, looking deeply into things. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to offer joy to one person in the morning, and to help relieve the grief of one person in the afternoon. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. And we bow. Now the next page is the Heart Sutra. Maha Rajnya Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great
great compassion, from the deep practice of prajna, paramita, perceived the emptiness of all five skandhas, and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. No form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind. No realm of sight. No realm of consciousness. No ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance. No old age and death, nor extinction of them. No suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna, paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all delusive views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna, paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna, paramita, is the great dharani, the radiant peerless mantra, the utmost supreme mantra, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna, paramita. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Dhamma prajna paramita hridaya sutra.
Morning, Sangha. So this is my first Dharma talk, and my my Dharma name is Upaya, and Upaya is Sanskrit for skillful means, basically being able to explain things well. So sometimes it fits, and sometimes, well, it's a little more aspirational. So we'll see how today goes. So my wife and I moved to Western Michigan about 5 years ago, and we're two more refugees from Chicago. We had a vacation house here, and then we decided that we liked it so much, so we moved here full time 5 years ago because that's where we would retire. So we moved to the Saugatuck Douglas area. We're about 2-3 miles from the lake shore, right on the Kalamazoo River. And I tell you, that was a big change, moving from a big city to small town rural America. But we really settled in and we love it. So my story starts about 10 years ago. We were living a life in Chicago, doing everything there is to do in the city. And my hobby is collecting hobbies. And I tell you what, that's a great place for it. Oh, yeah, I just have like countless hobbies. So they have all sorts of classes. I was taking cooking classes, to wine classes, to beer classes, to beer making classes. There's a theme here. Right. But I also took things like I love improv comedy. I was living right down the street from Improv Olympic. And so I took like a whole year's worth of classes at Comedy Sports. And so I really love improv comedy. The other thing I took up was metal sculpture. So there were some folks associated with the Art Institute. So yeah, I learned how to cut and weld and polish stuff. And that's how I spend my retirement now, making metal sculpture. So we were living a life, right? And life was good and work was good too. I started out as a mechanical engineer, and then after 5 years, kind of got bored with that, and I moved over to technology. So I was working for an enterprise software manufacturer out of Boston, like completely remote with a lot of travel. So I used to do customer implementation, went to customer sites over 100. Then I did internal training. Then we did customer training. We developed all the software for all the training for all the software we had. It's like 1,500 hours plus. But then I got into I got into the product side of helping to develop the learning technology to deliver all this training. So here I am. Things are going well, making good money, and global travel too. The job took me all throughout Europe, took me through Asia, Japan, China, Korea, China again, a number of times, Malaysia, and India. Lots of trips to India because that's where the development team was. So here I am, top of the world. Life is good, but well, nothing lasts forever, right? So 20 years of the work hard, play hard, tech bro lifestyle finally caught up with me. Something had to give, and that something was my health. So rainbows and kittens don't bring most people to the Dharma. So that's what brought me, or at least it started to. So here I was 50. I came back from 2 weeks in India, and I was really sick. I was flat on my back for like 2 or 3 weeks. And at first I figured it was just deli belly that I had picked up, eating all the good food over there. I'd picked up some kind of bug. Then I went, met with my doctor. He ran some tests, ran some more tests. Well, long story short, I go to meet with him afterwards, and he's got the look. I'm like, oh, jeez. So it's like, okay, tell me, how bad is it? So he says, well, you got a half dozen chronic illnesses. Congratulations. And he rattled them off. And I knew what they all were because one relative or another had them, but nobody had them, as far as I know, all at the same time. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? It's like, well, good news is that they're not going to kill you. They're all treatable. So here's a big fistful of pills for you to take every day. Here's some instructions on diet and exercise and lifestyle changes. Call me if anything changes. Good luck. And it's like, next. He didn't actually say that, but that's sure how it felt. So it's like, all right, well, now what? So one of the things that I have, that all these things together added up to chronic fatigue, which is a real kick in the teeth. I'll get back to that. But the impact was that I couldn't live that lifestyle anymore. I couldn't be that guy anymore. So first of all, no more life as a gourmet. So I had to give up all the dinner parties, the wine dinners, the restaurants. I didn't realize how much of a part of my life that was until it kind of all went away. Well, it took 60 pounds with it. So there was some benefit when I stopped doing all of that. But I had to give it up, well, mostly. And all the travel, traveling the wine country, Sonoma, Willamette. I didn't realize how much of a part of my life it was. And so that's really what started to bring me to the Dharma. So here I am, diet and exercise. I started doing a regular yoga practice, sometimes 15 minutes a day, because that's all I could manage. Also meditation. I started with an app, solo practice with an app, Headspace. It's good. If you're looking for an app, that's a good one. And also came across the mindfulness-based stress reduction class that they were running. There was an organization here in Grand Rapids running it. If you're not familiar with it, it's an 8-week class that was developed by a doctor in Boston, John Kabat-Zinn. And basically, it teaches you in those 8 weeks, there's lots of lectures and lots of exercises, really how to, all the basic Buddhist practices of being mindful of the body, doing the body scans, looking at for chronic pain, for illness, really learning how to do that. So I'm like, I'm a science guy, so I signed up for that, and it turned out great. But then I started to get into, okay, where do these teachings come from? Well, that got me led to the core Buddhist teachings. And so right after I finished that class, then COVID hits, right? So now, everybody's on lockdown. I'm immune compromised, so I'm on the extra special super max lockdown. And so basically, I think we had a COVID pod of like 6 people, and we did the 10 feet away thing. And that's basically the only people I saw face to face, including my wife for like the next year and a half. But on the upside of that, it gave me a lot of time to read. So I read everything I could get my hands on. I read, it's a big list of stuff. I signed up for Tricycle and Lion's Roar, those magazines. And there's a physical magazine, there's an online thing. Plus, they'll send you like countless emails every day, countless articles. And it's great because it's a lot of different perspectives from all the different traditions. There's Tibetans and the Theravadins and lots of Zen in there, plus some of the modern Western syncretic stuff and insight meditation. So I was reading all that stuff. Then I read Thich Nhat Hanh, I read Pema Chodron, and basically just immersed myself in this, joined a couple online sanghas. But then when the pandemic finally lifted all those restrictions, I went looking for like a real life sangha. And I found Grand Rapids Buddhist Temple, and I've been here ever since. Took the meditation class, precepts class, bodhisattva class. And then I kind of like took a pause for a year. I still came to Sunday services, whatnot, because I felt I had a decision to make. And that is, I was starting to hear the call to the ministry. So I wanted to let that sit for a bit to make sure that was real. And that's when I decided to join the Dharma Teacher Intern program to learn how to give the gift of the Dharma and really how to share it with people. Now, there's a lot of things you can read. That's one way, and you can listen to podcasts and stuff. But the real way of learning the teachings is to live them. And for me, well, there's lots of lessons from my own suffering, my own chronic illness. So, and it's the emphasis on, you think you understand it until you're directly living it, either life experience or meditation or retreat. So the first thing is impermanence. Yeah, everything changes. Yeah, we all know that, right? But living with something like chronic fatigue really shines a spotlight on it. Because I wake up in the morning, I have no idea what kind of day I'm going to have. I could have a day like today, which is like I call it a go day. It's like nothing's wrong with me. I feel energy. I'm alert. I'm fully present. And this can last the whole day to night, right? There are other days, I call them go slow days, that I get up, have breakfast, and I'm like, I'm not feeling that great today. So maybe I better go through that big to-do list, and I might get to that I'm not going to get to, and kind of organize my day on however I'm feeling like after breakfast. And occasionally, not that often, I have no-go days, which I get out of bed, I go, have breakfast, and now I want to go back to sleep. I'm like, ugh, all right. So I guess I'm not doing much today. And those are the days that I'm like, okay, I'm going to look at my list of all the TV shows that I've been queuing up. Oh, there's a whole seasons of Ghosts. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. I'm going to go binge watch that. Sometimes it's bad enough I can't even read. Right, the brain fog is so thick that I'm looking at this thing. It's like, forget it. Right? Some days it's light reading, some days it's TV. So I never know I never know what's going to happen, and that's really impermanence. Now we all know that we vary capacities, but that kind of day-to-day thing, and sometimes morning, noon, and night, it changes too. That's the first teaching, impermanence. The second one is anatman, which is no self, no permanent self, right? There's no permanent, unchanging self that we. You know. But for me, that means there's no permanent set of capabilities. You'll get used to the idea that capabilities change over time, especially with the gray hair. That I'm not going to be rock climbing or my skydiving days are over. Right? But it's another thing entirely that the things that rely on, I can't rely on anymore. That I define myself in being able to do all this stuff. And I'm the guy you can rely on. You give me something to do, I tell you a date, it's done. Well, maybe not, right? Maybe I get to it, maybe I don't. Depends on how I'm feeling. Or maybe I really enjoyed pushing myself physically and mentally, like rock climbing, totally about skydiving, shooting the black moguls. I can't do that anymore. So I overexert myself. I'm flat on my back for the rest of the day. And if I really exert myself, I'm going to lose the tomorrow too. So I really have to be mindful of how I'm feeling and what my exertion level is. And setting aggressive goals, yeah, that's gone. Right. Oh, I got to set all this. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm just not. I can't do that anymore. And it's no permanent self. The capabilities change from one day to the next. And part of that is I really are getting really attached to the things that I like to do and not being able to do them. There's a couple verses from the Dhammapada. This is Dhammapada 2:10 and 2:11 that say, don't get entangled with what you long for or dislike. Not seeing what you long for is suffering. So also seeing what you dislike. Therefore, do not turn anything into something longed for then it's dreadful to lose. Without longing or dislike, no bonds of suffering exist. Right. But the harder you try to hold on to things that are impermanent, the more you're going to hurt yourself and the more suffering you create for yourself. The Insight Meditation teacher, Jack Kornfield, puts it a bit differently. And he says that our suffering is like a rope burn. When you pull on a rope and it burns your hand, the pain continues even after you let go. But the healing begins the moment that you release the rope. And wow, I found out that I've got a whole lot of ropes. Enough for a ship. Right. So that's the second thing was non-self. The third one is the five aggregates. And this is one of the more deeper, complex teachings. But the idea of the five aggregates is the five aggregates refer to the process of how we perceive the world. And the five aggregates are, form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Usually it happens like all at once. But the idea behind this is, and said in another way, is that we see the world as not as it is, but as the way that we are. That our own experiences just put up all of these filters and all of these steps and whatnot. The way that your dog perceives the world is different than the way that you do, right? Or a bat. I don't have an echolocation. I mean, the way it flies around, it's just entirely different. That's just the senses. But I mean, just for us too, it changes one day to the next. If I'm on a really strong day and I go out to my studio that I've got in the barn, I just look out there and there's racks of material. There's steel, there's aluminum, there's bins of copper, there's a whole wall of tools hanging on it. There's machine tools, it's got every damn thing. I mean, it's just full of possibilities, and it's like this energy. As soon as I step in there, everything's like, pick me, right? Use me today. We'll go create something. And so it's really, and so I'll spend a half day out there making a bunch of stuff. When I'm not feeling well, I'll also go out there, and then maybe that's the time I put stuff away, or I'll take the broom and I sweep out. And everything that's in there, it's the same stuff that was there the day before, but my experience of it is entirely different. It's entirely different. It's just a bunch of stuff. It's not calling to me anymore. When I'm not feeling well, I don't use power tools. I mean, I've got all 10 fingers and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So there's no power tools that day. And, you know, I'm just pushing the broom. Oh, there's a chipmunk that got in. Okay. Chase him out with the broom. But otherwise, but it's just the way you perceive the world from one day to the next depends a lot on health. If it's not a great day, it's like a big wet blanket. No matter how much the sun is shining, it's just you're walking around with a big wet blanket over you. The fourth thing I've really learned from my experience is how hardship can develop understanding and compassion. That there's another way to live. That suffering, if you're in hardship, it leads to one or two things, and you get to pick which. The first one is you feel sorry for yourself and you curl up into a tight little ball of misery, right? And we've all been there. But there's another way to live. And that way to live is to let that hardship break your heart open so you can feel that understanding and that compassion for other people who are going through hardship too. So in the Bodhisattva class, we're studying Shantideva's Way to the Bodhisattva. So here's a quote. Suffering also has its worth. Through sorrow, pride is driven out, and pity felt for those who wander in samsara. Evil is avoided, and goodness seems delightful. So where that really shines a spotlight for me is my relationship with my brother. I have one sibling, a younger brother, and we were best friends from childhood. We were inseparable. And we were that way all the way into our 20s. And then our paths began to diverge a bit. That he has in young adulthood, he has a debilitating mental illness. So while I'm out living my life, he had to drop out of med school, and he was bouncing between in and out of hospitals, and group homes, and sometimes on the street, right? Fortunately, not that much. But yeah, and that was his life. And it just created distance between us. No, I mean, I would call him, I still love him. But just the way our lives had taken different paths like that, it was hard. It was hard for him, it was hard for me. Well, 10 years ago, when all this stuff started, I called him. I said, hey, not for nothing. I told him what's going on. He's like, yeah, kind of welcome to the club. I'm like, not for nothing, but how do you deal with this? You've been dealing with this for your whole adult life. And the first thing he says to me is, well, you can't expect anybody who's not seriously ill to understand what you're going through. And then he paused, and we both had a really good laugh because he was talking to me. That I didn't understand what he was going through for all those years. And I'm happy to say that after we had that, we're close as we've been in a long time. So that really helped to heal that gap. Right. And I'm looking forward to the next time I see him in Vermont when I go up there once a year now. Oh, it's his birthday today, the 13th. So happy birthday, Greg. So we talked about coming to the Dharma and the lessons from suffering. And what that's really helped me, the direct experience of all this, has helped me learn how to roll with whatever life shows at you. And the good times, the bad times, the hardship. So how do you actually do that, though? How do you actually learn how to roll in good spirit with whatever life shows to you? Well, this guy figured it out. He knows how. He knew how. He figured it out, and he spent the next 40 years teaching everybody who would listen. So my teachers have shared that with me, and now I'll share it with you. Prepare yourselves for meditation. First, take your seat. Feel your body and the connection with the chair, with the cushion, with the earth. Now breathe in and breathe out. That's it. Over and over again. Your mind time travels to the past with regrets. It time travels to the futures with worries. Your body, though, is always in the present. It's always in the eternal now. There's nowhere else it can be. Use the breath to tether your mind and the body. If your mind wanders, bring it back. If you find yourself getting upset that your mind's wandering, or that your meditation isn't as good as you wanted it to be, or it's better than the last time, this is all liking and disliking. Recognize it and let it go. This develops concentration. This develops equanimity. Letting go of this liking and disliking is one of the paths the Buddha taught to the ending of suffering. So, in the spirit of Sangha and community, this is the time that we pass the mic around so everyone can share their joys and their concerns with members of our community. So, there is a mic somewhere. Thank you.
Good morning, Sangha. I just want to share a brief joy. After a wonderful but very physically and emotionally difficult year working in catering, I start a new job today. I'm very excited about. I'm going to be managing a brewery out in Cascade. This is the most exciting thing for me. We close at 9:00 in the evening every single day. Normal sleep, here I come.
Good morning, Sangha. My name is Jueshin Su, or Shane. I have a concern and a joy. My concern is I did not get the job I've been waiting for 5 months for, but that's okay. More opportunities next time, but I did pass my qualification, so that's awesome. And then I just wanted to share, I really loved Upaya's first Dharma talk. It was very wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, I just have a joy. I want to say I very much enjoyed the Dharma talk today as well. Thank you.
My first time sharing. My name is Emily. I just finished dog sitting for two little creatures for a week at my son's house while they were on spring break. So it has ended. The critters are on their own. I have my own space. It's very good.
All right, I'll share. Good morning, Sangha. Ananda Pula Bhava. I'll share two joys. Yesterday, one of our brothers in Guideline shared his first SNL talk. So his first speaker story. So he told a story, and it was very full of love, and there was a lot of people there. So it was a celebration of his story. And it was really good. And then afterwards, a bunch of us went out to dinner, 76th Street Diner, and it's so good to see the simplicity of how much we've changed. We're just being good people at a restaurant, and that's it. Like all 8 of us guys have been through hell. We really have, and like it doesn't show anymore. It's amazing. And then I got a lot out of your Dharma talk. I'm celebrating your milestone, your first time. That's awesome. There's so much self-compassion and self-awareness behind those teachings. So I really appreciated that. Thank you.
Take a few moments to reflect on the joys and concerns and take them into our hearts. All right, April announcements. First is a spring silent retreat, which is happening Saturday, April 26th, so that's in 2 weeks. It runs from 9 to 4 at the temple. Registration is like the day before, so you can do an audible on that one. You can read the newsletter. It's in the newsletter. I love going to those, and I try to go at every one. And it's just a great way to spend a few hours with a more focused, deeper practice. So if you can come, come. The next is online meditation group on Wednesdays. There's a Zoom call that is from 6 to 6:45, so basically 45 minutes. And I've started coming to that, and I'll start to lead that in a few weeks. There's a Dharma discussion group on Thursday mornings, 9:30 to 11 at the temple. And contract Reverend Jingsu Ryan Duffield for more information. Again, newsletter. There is a Grand Rapids Buddhist Temple board meeting that's happening Sunday the 27th, day after the retreat. It's from 11:30 to 1, and everybody's welcome to join and observe, or we'll see on Zoom to take a look. There are Buddhist-based recovery meetings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, it's 6:30 meditation and 7 at the temple. And the meeting starts at 7. Wednesdays, and that's here at the temple. Wednesdays at 6:30 at the Awano Club. And Fridays, there's a meditation at 10:05, and then the meeting starts at 10:30. So that, I believe, is the announcements for the day, except for the Dana announcement. Who would like to do Dana today?
Hey everyone, is that better? Dana is one of the 6 paramitas. It's a practice of generosity. And there are a lot of ways to give to the temple. One of those is by giving your time to help set up, take care of the temple, do things like the Dana announcement, incense lighting, all of those things. You can also give to the temple with dry goods such as paper towel, tea, toilet paper, any of those things. You can talk to Nikki or House Sue if you want more information about what specific needs there are at temple. There's also Dana boxes. They're by the doors and down in the basement, and you can give cash or check. There's also a QR code where you can donate online. And if you're on YouTube, there's, all right, I wrote it out because it's zengr.com/donate, I think. .org, zengr.org. Thank you. I wrote it down and I still needed help. There's also, we are accepting donations for Mother's Day flowers on May 11th. So there's some cute little cards with QR codes for that. Or if you just want to notate that your donation is specifically for that, we'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I had one more announcement too. Next week on April 20th, we'll be having our first meeting right after the service for our Buddhist Mutual Aid Sangha. I know, it's all good. That's all.
Okay, and with that, let's stand for our closing gathas. Standing is easier for some of us than others. For all unskillful actions ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddha's teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to enter. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. As we close, we'll have one half of the Sangha turn to the other half, and we bow. So thank you everyone for coming today. If you have time, we have social hour downstairs for a few minutes. Have some tea, have some conversation. Or I'll see you next week.